Good morning, my name is Borbala Samu. I am a researcher at the University for Foreigners of Perugia, and the title of my presentation is Teaching Practice in Pre-Service Language Teacher Education, Challenges of the Transition from Face-to-Face to Online Lessons. The presentation is structured in the following way. In the first part, I will shortly illustrate a general framework for pre-service language teacher training. The central part of the presentation will be dedicated to the description of the teacher training in a master course in teaching Italian as a foreign language at the University for Foreigners of Perugia, going from the main characteristics of the training to the recent experience in realizing the training online in a synchronous computer-mediated context. The presentation will be concluded by some proposals for teacher training course design. The aim of the presentation is to underline the role of teaching practice in language teacher education, to present a model of pre-service teacher training based on interaction and collaboration, and to show challenges and difficulties in the realization of the training online. The basic question is how we can realize online teaching practice for language teachers. Traditionally, most teacher education programs have assumed that teachers can learn everything they need to teach well by completing their programs of study, with limited opportunities for practicing, or even without practicing, doing only passive observation of lessons taught by expert professionals. Teachers from these programs might find themselves unprepared for the realities of language teaching and feel stressed and confused once they assume an institutional role. It is, though, advisable to include experiential learning, such as internship, in teacher education programs in order to integrate knowledge and theory with practical applications and skills. Thanks to the practical experience, trainee teachers can learn how to act efficiently in the working context, and they can identify their own professional potentials and limits. In fact, there is a rich evidence suggesting that internship is one of the most important and influential parts of pre-service second language teacher education, and the specific benefits are reported in a growing body of empirical studies. As far as our master course is concerned, we combine different pedagogical tools, including distance learning activities delivered through an e-learning platform, assisted with constant interaction between students and tutors, and face-to-face educational activities consisting in lessons, seminars, workshop activities, and a monitored internship called practicum. From the analysis of the participant evaluation questionnaire, the practicum appears the heart of the course, and many of the participants suggest longer practical teaching periods. The three main strengths they underline are the opportunity to put theory into practice, the cooperative work within the group, and the utility of feedback they receive from tutors and peers. These results are in line with the basic assumptions behind the model proposed. That is to say, the idea that circular relationship between theory and practice is essential to develop knowledge, and that communities of practice must constitute the core of professional learning for teachers. What does this mean in practice? For example, our students have a theoretical module about developing teaching materials from authentic texts, and during the practicum, they actually have to create teaching materials for an entire language course. The community of practice during the practicum is realized through the organization of the monitored teaching practice, where trainee teachers in small groups of 4-6 people work together with a tutor to develop the syllabus of the course, the lesson plans, and they create teaching materials. Each participant teaches some lessons individually, but at the end of the class, the group comes together to give feedback to the teacher. Also, some lessons are filmed and they become a further occasion for exchange. Reflective practice is strongly encouraged during the teaching practice. Trainee teachers are constantly asked to reflect upon what they have learned, what they want to experiment, and what they have experimented through discussions with their tutor and peers, and feedback, and the final discussion about the video recorded lesson. In the current edition of the master course, due to the coronavirus pandemic, the course had to be transformed from the mixed format to a fully online format. In this setting, the authentic teaching context is provided by an online language course organized with the support of Microsoft Teams. As a consequence, computer-assisted language learning has turned into a central aspect of the training, since trainee teachers need to learn how to plan an online Italian language course, how to implement online methodologies and teaching techniques, how to manage a live online classroom, and how to assess language learners' knowledge and competence online. So specific knowledge and skills are developed during the practicum under the tutor's supervision, including the usage of technologies offered by the synchronous learning management system, such as video conferencing, text chat, file co-editing, and desktop sharing. Design of tasks appropriate to the online environment. Design of interactive community building activities. The development of core knowledge and skills is realized at both technical and pedagogical levels, since our trainee teachers must apply directly their understandings and abilities in teaching practice. In the picture on the slide, you can see an example of how trainee teachers manage an online classroom, controlling simultaneously the learner group and the teaching materials on Microsoft Word, sharing the computer screen. In the questionnaire administered at the beginning of the practicum, some participants complain about the absence of physical interaction with students and describe possible difficulties in managing the affective component of interactions. However, during the practicum, they have the occasion to experience that the platform might reproduce some of the components of physical face-to-face communication, allowing for chat, video conferencing, and audio calls, providing the conditions for a rich interaction, essential for collaborative work between learners and teachers in the classroom, as well as between trainee teachers and their tutors during preparation and feedback session. So let's sum up this short illustration of the teaching practice in our master course, underlining three of the main issues that have been raised during planning, preparation, and implementation of the online teacher training course, and that could be useful for designing similar teacher training courses. As we have seen, the online course where trainee teachers do their practice should allow for a rich teacher-student and student-student interaction. It is then necessary to instruct pre-service teachers how to plan and manage activities to involve participants in an ongoing dialogue. Social interaction is fundamental, not only in the classroom, but also between trainee teachers and their tutor. Voice-based synchronous computer-mediated communication provides the condition for co-constructing of meaning in an environment where all participants mentor each other and have several occasions to collaborate, discuss, and reflect about their own and the others' teaching practice. Finally, language teachers need specific skills to teach online, and these skills must be developed throughout the training. During the meetings with their tutors, trainee teachers receive both technical and pedagogical training in whole, and during the language classes, they necessarily connect co-education to authentic teaching settings. However, in order to lower stress and anxiety, it would be advisable to add an online platform training before the practicum to introduce participants to the synchronous learning management system. With these considerations, I end my presentation, thanking you for your attention.